CBS presents this program in color.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. I just want to take this opportunity to thank those of you who voted for me in the primaries held thus far. I'd like to thank 51 good Americans who voted for me in New Hampshire, 2 good Americans who voted for me in Wisconsin, and 2 more good Americans who voted for me in Pennsylvania. While I'm not disappointed by this trend, I do have a feeling that some of you are not behind me all the way. And as I've said before, while I am not disappointed by this trend, I do have the feeling that some of you are not behind me all the way. But this is not a laughing matter. I have conducted my campaign thus far in the true American political tradition. I lied about my intention to run. I have been consistently vague on all the issues, but this apparently has not been enough. Therefore, I now promise you, my fellow Americans, that I will continue to make promises that I will be unable to fulfill. Thank you.
It's the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, an embarrassing situation has just developed on the show, in which Tommy and I would like to clear up right now. So before we go on with the program, let me explain. Now, there has been talk that Pat Paulsen is running for president, and unfortunately, this puts us in a very difficult position, because if Pat, who is a regular on the show, were indeed a candidate for the presidency, we would be subject to the equal time provision and would have to turn our show over to all the other comedians running for that great office. So, we have asked Pat at this time to make a statement to those many well-meaning people out there who are urging him to throw his hat into the ring. So I'd like at this time to turn the show over to Pat Paulsen.
Thank you, Dick, Tom, the entire Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour, and the vast affiliated stations of the Columbia Television Network, Thomas A. Dawson, President, for allowing me this opportunity, this prime time, in front of 40 million fellow Americans, to deny once again that I am a candidate for the coming election. There are so many other candidates denying their candidacy that it's hard for me to find equal time to deny mine. To prove the honesty of my denial, in a recent presidential campaign survey, my name was not even mentioned. I feel that this is unfair. I want my name right up there alongside the other non-candidates like Governor Reagan, Governor Rockefeller, and Senator Kennedy. Why should they get all the publicity for not running? I will not deny that I have considered the possibility of running for president. I owe that much to my public. But upon further examination, I have discovered that it cost each presidential candidate $35 to $40 million to run a campaign. And I figured, why should I spend $35 or $40 million to get a $100,000 a year job? However, in spite of my repeated denials, the groundswell of popular support grows every day. I do not understand why this is happening. The fact that I have a surefire plan of action to lower taxes, solve our civil rights problems, obliterate the national debt, and put an end to the war in Vietnam obviously disqualifies me as a presidential candidate. I say leave politics to the politicians and leave me out of it. I don't want to be any more than I am today, a common, ordinary, simple savior of America's destiny.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, one of the touching moments in American politics. Patrick Paulsen's official denial of his intention to run for the President of the United States. And we could only hope that his plea will be heeded by the millions of people who are crying for him to be president. Thank you, Pat.